Hello, Panthers. I'm Austin Weiss alongside Coach Wendel. Coach, you had a great win last week against Seguin. What did you take away from that game?
Well, our theme of the week was focus, and we just I was real proud of the way that we focused during the weather delay and the way that we came out and started fast on offense, and thought we weathered the storm on one series on defense and kind of settled in and played well the rest of the game. And pretty much a complete game, but we saw areas that we needed to improve on, such as kickoff and pretty much all special teams.
And so there was a lot of rain delays and the rain. So how did you feel about that with all the rain delays and stuff?
Well, we had a plan for it because we knew it was coming all week. So we had a plan. We had a plan to feed them at a certain point right before we went out. 2 hours into the rain delay, we wanted to feed them. We played music. We took a nap. We took another nap. And so I felt like we were ready for the game whenever it did come around, and that we were prepared and knew kind of what to expect. So I thought we handled it real well. I was real proud of the players.
Yeah, they looked really good, especially with all those rains. So let's look at some highlights of last week's game.
Really challenged the offensive line this last week. I didn't think we played our best against Joshua, and they came out and had a good game this week. That's a screenplay to Nolan Samick. Got a good run here. I think this is our first touchdown of the game. Behind left side, Dwayne Johnson and Ethan Hill's lead blocking at fullback, and Austin breaks through and makes a good run. Good read on the option, play to the left. Blake Sellers was the left tackle. It's a good explosive run right here by Nolan. Good job by Brandon Weiss blocking back, and then we had Dwayne pulling, and then Nolan broke into the free and then holds onto the ball and falls into the end zone. It's nice to see that that night. Fantastic play right here, just all extra effort by Jeremy McCoy. This is what we call laser. I'm sorry, it's 31 is what we call this. Good read by Austin on the midline triple. Jeremy lowers his shoulder and runs over the guy and gets in the end zone. Fantastic effort play by him. It's just a matter of Avery being in right position, playing his man, playing his technique, high points the ball, gets a good interception, and gets the ball back for us. Tate's first pass of the season, coming back from injury. First game he suits up, throws a 28 pass to Jeremy McCoy for a first down. Then we come back with the touchdown passes. The first deep ball to Wesley Lowe this year. He brings in the post route. Good protection up front. Good catch by Wesley. Good throw by Tate. We were actually, I think, 5 for 5 throwing in the game. Isaac Houston has a good touchdown run. I think this is at the last touchdown of the game. Midline triple option. Tate reads it and pulls it. Pitches off the end, and Isaac bursts into the end zone.
We also have a player with us today, Logan Adams. So Logan, what have you focused on this week during practice?
Well, one of the biggest points my coach was really emphasizing on is training our eyes to be in the right position at the right time. And also, too, the alignment in our assignment is one of the biggest deals that he's been really preaching on this week of practice.
What is the most difficult part of your position as a DB?
Going back to what I said with alignment and assignment, you just have to make sure you're aligned in the right area, and you have to know your assignment right away, because it's really hard to make a play if you're not aligned right and if you don't know your assignment.
And what do you like to do when you're not studying or playing football?
Always with my family. I'm a big family guy. I love my family. We're a tight-knit, so I'm always around them and just hanging out with them.
All right. So, Coach, this week we're on the road against Burleson Centennial. What do you know about the Spartans?
Well, they mirror us offensively. They run the exact same offense. They call it the same number system as we do, the same cadence, and so they look a lot like us. I think their backs are very fast. Their fullbacks are very quick and shifty. I think their offensive line is really good. Defensively, they're about the same size as us. They fly around and they play really, really hard. So I think you'll see two teams that mirror each other, and it's going to come down to blocking and tackling and really the trench warfare between the offensive and defensive lines. And our theme this week is mental toughness, extra effort. And we've talked a lot this week about grit, resolve, and strength of character. And I think the team with the most of that's going to win.
And what should be our biggest challenge that we need to watch for going into this game?
Well, I think alignment from a defensive standpoint is very tough. They do several formations that put you in a bind, and then playing assignment football. If you've got dive, take dive. If you've got quarterback, take quarterback. If you've got pitch, take pitch. So make sure that we get aligned on defense, and then we've got to just adjust to what they're in. We never know. Most teams play us differently than their base from their defensive standpoint to our offense. So we've got to see what they're in, adjust to that, and protect the football, obviously. And I think we need to grind it out and make first downs to keep their offense off the field.
And Coach, I noticed that the Morning News has our district as the top 5A district in the area based on winning percentages of the non-district games. What do you think about that?
Well, I knew all along that we were going to be in a very competitive district. I think you've got 7 or 8 teams in a 9-team district that feel like they should be in the playoffs. So I think our 5 toughest games are ahead of us. We've played 4 teams, and now our next 5 weeks are really, really going to be a challenge, and they're different challenges. But this week is a big one. Obviously, Cleburne is, I think they're 3-0. You've got Burleson High that's 3-0. Aleto's 3-0 or 4-0. A couple of these teams had rainouts, but those 3 teams are undefeated. Centennial's played a very difficult schedule, played 2 top 15 teams in Corsicana and Denison, and they won both of those ball games. So they lost to Aledo, who's a dominant team. So they've had really good competition. So you've got a lot of teams that feel like they should make the playoffs, and it's going to be a very competitive all the way down to week 10.
And let's look at some results from last week from teams in our district.
Cleburne beat Waco U. Centennial beat Everman pretty good, got ahead of the chains and did some good stuff against them. Burleson shut out a shortened game with Joshua 24-0. Then Midlothian won 55-13 against Arlington Seguin.
And this week we have Burleson and Seguin.
I think Burleson wins that game going away. They're scoring a lot of points, probably I'm going to say 40-0.
And then Everman and Aledo.
I think Aledo wins. They're the dominant team in our district, probably 42-7.
Joshua and Cleburne.
I'll take Cleburne 28-14.
And Midlothian Centennial.
Midlothian 23-21.
It's a close game. So, Coach, thank you for being here. We'll see you next week. And remember, this game is at Burleson at 7:30 Friday night. If you cannot make it to the game, you can listen on mhsradio.com.